Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to one of the most dangerous configurations in World Motorsport. Monza no chicane. Here we go. For those who aren't aware of this, you come up to the first chicane and, well, you're not doing it. There it is. That's normally where you'd go around Monza. We're going to go straight through. Now, that first chicane is normally an epicenter of chaos. So you might think, well, you're getting rid of the chicane, surely this is better. But no, you come up to the second chicane, therefore, at a much higher speed. Curva Grande as well is also more dangerous. We're going to jump into the first race then. Now, I thought I'd test myself from the back of the pack in the Disco's wagon. Gary Mo 92 here, having a nice little bunny hop over a cone. Absolutely sensational. Okay, first race, starting 15th out of 15 from the back. Let's see what we can do. The McLaren F1 GTR, the fastest car for this, or it's at least the car that most people are using. Now we've got a Lexus there behind, and the Toyota FT1. Not the cars you want to be choosing for this. I mean, the FT1 is all about handling. This circuit is all about top speed. So we're going through Curva Grande here, and it is flat out. Well, not for that guy at least. It is flat out if you get the line dead right. Maybe in the slipstream you might have to lift off. Into the Della Roger chicane. This guy going fairly slowly. We're going to nip up the inside then. Up towards the Lesmos. Lesmo number 1 here. And we've moved up into 11th already. So the main aim really, well, I suppose the main aim of motorsport is to win the race, obviously, but the main aim here is just to move up as many positions as we can. We've only got 4 laps to do it, so not long. Through the Ascari chicane on the exit. Scotty, coming back onto the track, kind of an awkward angle there. Well, we go through up to 10th. Into the final corner, Parabolica, JGR Racing here. We're going to try and nip underneath. Do excuse the weird movements of the other cars at times. That isn't sorcery or alien technology, that is just a bit of weird lag. My Ethernet cable stopped working, so I had to use Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi was really unreliable, but it does improve later in the video. Now, up the main straight here, very long straight, cutting through the chicane. Into Curva Grande, just going to lift off there to make sure we don't go flying to the back of JGR, and give ourselves a bit of breathing room. And then looking for that shadow, there we go, into the braking zone. It's all good, we're all fine. So where is this carnage you speak of? Well, it will happen, don't you? But oh, there's a penalty as we just cut the chicane, perhaps by a pixel or two. That's a bit frustrating. Nissan GTR on our left here didn't really complete that move as well as I should have done. Going to get it done here, but we're going to serve this penalty because the penalty line is just here, half a second. The main thing here really is to just hopefully stay in the toe of the car ahead, and that's exactly what we managed to do. So coming in towards the final corner, he goes defensive. Okay, no sweat, no problem. But then he definitely overcooks it. No, he doesn't. He takes it really nicely. But the main thing to consider here is this straight goes on so long that you can really slipstream past people very easily. Nissan GTR is a quick car in a straight line, but you see here, it doesn't quite have the speed to get past the McLaren F1. So I decided to bump draft JGR back through. So I move up into 8th through Curva Grande, hitting the apex nicely. Oh, bit of lag. Deciding which side to go. Nissan GTR goes to the left. Oh, he's braked very late there. Perhaps because of his penalty. And we both go through up to 7th. Well, I go through into 7th. You can't both be in 7th, can you? Okay, right. Ascari chicane, lap number 3. P7, catching up with the 2 guys ahead here. And he doesn't get a good run at all through that chicane, which means we're going to get the run, the momentum to move to the inside. He doesn't defend it, so we're going to go for it. Now, if you have any tactical awareness, you'd be aware that going for the move there would make you vulnerable going up the main straight. The main thing we need to try and secure here is the slipstream of the car ahead, and just look how much of an effect it has. as you approach Curva Grande, and boom, you're right on them. He goes defensive. He knew I was arriving at speed. Through here, he's a little bit wide. We're going to come through 170 miles an hour as we approach the braking zone here. He's on the inside. He's covered it nicely. Fair enough. Goes a little bit deep. Can we go for the switcheroo? Yes, we can. See you later, my good friend. As we move up into 5th position on lap number 4. This is our final lap now. And we're just really trying to pull away, and we do. By the end of the race, it was a secure 5th position. And moving up 10 places there in the Discos Mobile. Good stuff indeed. It says a clean race there, but I'm not sure if that was completely true. Next race up, bit of slowing down on the straight in practice. But we move into race number 2. I've gone for the orange McLaren F1 this time. Really paying homage to the true colours of McLaren this time around. Past the Peugeot VGT there, which is actually a quick car for this. Jenkins just coming across there. We're in 14th as we head into the braking zone. Oh my goodness, the Polish driver there getting sent into another dimension and getting truly acquainted with our good friend Barry R. Down into Lesmo 1, Belgian on the inside, and they're both going to go very, very wide on the exit indeed. So we get 2 positions for free. Isn't it good when you basically put 0 effort in to do an overtake and then you just get 2? Absolutely incredible. No time loss, just 2 positions for free. If only it could always be like that. Someone wide on the exit of Ascari. We move up another position. The momentum is well and truly on our side right now. We're only 4 seconds off the lead. Such is the closeness of this race. Any race that has a lot of slipstreaming, it's going to be difficult for the leaders to pull away. But we're doing a good job here, trying to carve our way through the pack up into 8th with the nice little switcheroo on the Spaniard. He's looking for the move here into Curva Grande, thinks better of it. Drinking game for Curva Grande if you're feeling like a bit of a maniac. Looking for our braking zone. I'm going to cover this one, go slightly defensive. Now this is the guy you want to check out, God's Rica. The Portuguese driver. Is it Cristiano Ronaldo on another burner account? I do not know for sure. He cuts the chicane there, if you could just see that on the right of the shot. So he pretty much gives up taking most of the corners. But this is where things descend into true anarchy. As we come down the straight here, the Croatian driver gets forced onto the grass and then makes a nice little appearance across the front end of our car and gets spun out by God's Rica. Cristiano Ronaldo causing all sorts of mayhem here at Monza. We're going to go underneath him and the French driver as well. I love that livery on the French driver's car, by the way. But this is where things increasingly get more chaotic as we head down the main straight, 3 abreast. Just take a look at the radar. There we go. And I just get ahead of the Frenchman, 2 abreast now with Ronaldo, who wants more space, and he's trying to force us off onto the grass. It's really not pretty at all. Coming into Curva Grande, and we're going to get sideswiped, and he goes through. Frenchman comes back through, trying to look for our braking point. Let's not overreact at this point in time. Are they going to go deep? Not quite. So we're going to carry on for now. That was a very disappointing sequence of events there, because I felt as though I was making really good progress. We could have won this race, but that sequence there and this sequence here really transformed the complexity of the race. As you can see, not pretty scenes at all here at Lesmo 1/Lesmo 2. Really just ugly scenes indeed. Things that we really don't want to be seeing. This Spaniard sort of just forgets to brake and drifts very, very wide indeed. But then he turns into my wingman like an absolute boss. Because coming up here, look at this, the bump draft. We're going to come and get this Portuguese driver, see if we can overtake him once again. He's got a bit of a gap, but if you just look up ahead, he's going to run himself and the Frenchman very wide in a very cynical move. We're going to flying through. If that was a collision IRL, that would have been very, very dramatic indeed. Luckily we just fly past him. Up into 3rd, we're on the podium. But we get a big penalty there, 1.5 seconds. Very frustrating. Yeah, silly mistake really, rookie error to cut that chicane when I was kind of secured 3rd. and it means that the two Spaniards go through. I was hoping that they would wipe each other out, and it looked like they might do it at one of the corners, but neither of them were fully committed to murdering the other. So we eventually come through to finish in 5th. So, you know, a bit disappointing. I honestly think I could have won that race if lap 2 and 3 went to plan, but obviously it didn't. We get the faster lap, up 10 positions. The Portuguese driver didn't have very good reviews there, should we say. Probably he'd have a 1-star rating if he was an item on Amazon.com. But never mind him, because we're going to go in for race number 4 now, and let's see what we can do now. Is this race 4? Is it race 3? I've lost count by this point. The action is just so dramatic that I just can't even count. Yellow flag, and we got a British driver off there, getting teleported back in time. And what about Lesmo 1, Croatian driver just coming through. We're going to follow him through and then go past him. He's gone for the Supra, quick car in a straight line, but it's just no real match for the McLaren F1. We've got some carnage here on the exit of Ascari. So we are immediately up into 9th position at the end of lap number 1. And we come up to the back of this little group here, this little trio squabbling for 6th place. I'm going to try and get to the side of this guy, but I don't have the toe. Therefore, I can't really do... Actually, no, I do get the toe. So it's all good. So we actually managed to get past him. Whoever gets the toe is the one who's going to get ahead. Simple as that. And we've got such a run here. I thought, you know what, no bump drafts. I'm going to go straight through here, lads. Open up that gap and send it. Lick the stamp and send it, as Danny Ricciardo once said. We've done exactly that. Coming up towards the Della Roger chicane. Coming up into this corner a lot quicker than you would if the first chicane existed. And that is why it's such a problematic chicane for this race. Normally you approach it a bit slower and you have a bit more time to think about it. But the faster you're going, the more dramatic things can be through there, should we say, to put it mildly. Up into 5th by this point, up behind 4th, obviously. I mean, that's how the numbers work. Now coming down the back straight, main straight. Look how close it is. I think 2nd place is a possibility here. I'm going to play it patient. I'm going to go for the move there. Because of how close they are, I think it's worth just hanging back on this one, braking perhaps a little bit earlier, and looking for something on the exit, such as this. Exhibit A, ladies and gents. Boom. See you later, my friends. Up 3 positions. Oh, no, we got a penalty. So it was a bit ambitious. We almost pulled it off to perfection, but just getting the half-second penalty there. To be honest, it probably was a better thing to do overall. Gain 3, have a half-second penalty, lose 2. So, you know, we've still gained 1 overall there. And we bring ourselves to the final lap. Lap 4, out of 4. We're in P4, but can we go for P2? Move into the right-hand side of the Corvette. Are we going to send up the inside of the German? Yes, we are. He's going to turn across. He's going to force me onto the grass. And luckily for him, he doesn't end up in the gravel there, because that's usually what would happen if you force someone too narrow on the inside. But luckily, we get through and move up into 2nd place. The leader a little bit too far away by this point, so there's not much I could have done about that. So we come through at the end of that one to finish in 2nd and a good 4.5 seconds away from the lead. Could I have won that? Probably not. I think I was too far away. Let's see what we can do in race 4 though. Can we win this one? Now this guy going for the Alpha, really just not a good choice. We saw the Toyota FT1 being used earlier, and I think the Alpha is on par with how bad of a choice it is for this race. Right, into the Della Roger. Oh, into a big bollard that seems to fly across the circuit. Now look at this almighty gaggle in the battle for 5th. Or 4th actually, or 3rd is it? I don't even know. There's so many people, can't count that high. Now, we go through past a couple of people there. And this is where things are going to once again descend into absolute anarchy. And some controllers are presumably going to get thrown about. Now we've got 2x2 formation, as if we're going on to Noah's Ark, into into Curva Grande, 3 abreast. And sadly, the Frenchman just eats gravel at the resulting end of that. Now into the corner here, and the German just comes out of nowhere with a savage dive bomb. And it was really a race-killing dive bomb, because look at the gap to third already. So we were in a good position there to follow through with third and start catching up with first and second. Second guy actually there just crashing. And that kind of just killed the momentum of the race. We were suddenly 3 seconds off the lead when we were a bit less than that. I put off this beautiful move into Ascari. Probably the nicest move you'll see all day. Perhaps all week, if not of all time. All time. There won't be a cleaner one than that ever. Trying to break the toe here. Not quite working. You need to be more than 3/4 of a second ahead. And therefore the Frenchman here was able to catch up with me. I was worried if he was going to go for this move here. He doesn't quite go for it, which is the sensible decision if you want to work together and try to catch up with the car in front. And thankfully he wants to help us out. Now we break dead on time here. The German just comes in again with yet another silly dive bomb, which costs us both time. Obviously he gains the position, but like, wow. And it was very frustrating to be on the receiving end of those, as I feel like we could have won this race if he had worked with me, but unfortunately he got introduced to our good friend Barry R there, as we just well, you know, it's just one of those things where you just forget to brake and they just happen to be in the way. What a shame for him that happened. We finished that one in fourth. Well, not the greatest result. Again, I think there was a chance of winning that. There was a chance. We improved our qualifying time because I wanted to start closer towards the front in this one and try to minimise the chance of death. It was quite fun trying to finish first from the back, but ultimately I failed. Now, Assassin's 3003 here with some 3000 IQ strategies as he tried to go for the move early into Curva Grande and doesn't quite pull it off. Well, I could immediately tell from this guy that he was very, very aggressive, and that seemed to be the case straight off the bat in this race number 5, into Lesmo number 2. We're just trying to settle into this race, just make sure, I think priority number 1 is make sure the Frenchman doesn't get away, make sure they don't get out of the toe, out of slipstream range, and we've managed that so far, so it's all good. Now I'll back off here. I'm going to let him take the race in line so we can work together to make sure the Frenchman doesn't get away. And thankfully he takes this Sky chicane pretty well. Now here, he's going to run a little bit wide, move left. I'm going to stick to the right. And then the Frenchman in the lead with the OG strategy of moving to the right, giving me the slipstream. What an absolute hero as we come into the final corner of lap number 1. I'm going to pin it on the apex, and then the Spaniard behind is going to follow me through. So now I wanted to work with this guy, try to potentially pull away from the pack. So we're going to bum draft him up the straight and hopefully make an attempt to pull away from the rest of the pack. Didn't really work as I had envisioned, so we're just going to follow him through here. If we can just get through this next chicane and this next lap okay, then maybe third and fourth will start fighting, we can pull away. Now on the brakes, pretty much at the right time, but obviously the assassin behind, not on the brakes at the right time, get teleported back in time about a few seconds, and then boom, we're down in 7th courtesy of that nice little hit from the assassin. Beautiful stuff. I mean, he's living up to his name, and I suppose he is doing his job as an assassin. We get run slightly wide there by the Corvette, and that was a very frustrating little move. We've moved down into 8th position. Now this is where things got very bad, and coming up into Ascari, we got reintroduced to our friend Gravel once again. There we go. And it was by about this point here where you just really begin to consider your life and think, why am I even playing this? This is just stupid. This isn't even fun anymore. So, as you can probably expect, we hit the pause button and exit, because it was just getting to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, let's just leave that race. But you know, over the course of the years on this channel, I've always wanted to show a mix of the good sides, the downsides, the bad sides, bit of everything. This is one of those times where actually some of it was fun, some of it was very bad. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a nice day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.